Hi, my name's Cameron Carlson with AnimeLocation.tv. I'm here at Ohayocon 2018 with Kevin Bolk.
Hello. How's everyone doing?
I was going to say the other one that we met you at, it was a couple years ago, Ohayocon 2016. How have you been since then?
True, yeah, I guess it's been a year. We had a bit of a downtime, kind of getting our bearings and leveling up, grinding, as it were, on art stuff and working on projects and kind of, there was some moving and some other stuff, so we decided, apparently 2016 was rough for a lot of people. We kind of tried to stay under the radar for that year, and get our stuff together.
Alrighty, now last time we talked, you were working on a new card game. How did it go?
Well, currently we have we had gotten a lot of the promo stuff put together for it. The designs are already the final product itself is designed. Now it's a matter of getting stuff out to overseas to get it printed and all the other things and get the Kickstarter going. The main issue we have is that when we were putting the game together, we put up a feedback form and had people you play the game and come back and let us know what you think. And we had a lot of suggestions for how to fix what they would like to have seen in the game board. Because the original idea was to just be a card game that you just play anywhere, but people really like the idea of having a grid type thing,
right,
which we hadn't thought about that in the original plan. It was just going to be a pack of cards. So we're messing around with some ideas and doing some product designs, trying to figure out the best way to include the board in the package in a creative and fun way, but also in a way that's manageable for a first-time game producer. We're hopefully the idea is to get the Kickstarter going by summer if we can get a decent estimate back on those packaging. So yeah, delayed, but it's because we're working our butts off.
Well, going along with that, in our last interview we had our good buddy Mr. Jake Pake happen to come on down and do some work with you guys on the card game. How did it go, and what's it like having that really, you guys are like brothers. It's the best friendship I think I've ever seen of two random people become that good of friends so fast.
Yeah, it's crazy. I actually just got an invite to his wedding. We've known each other for maybe 3 years now.
3 years.
It's crazy. He had come by and he was really excited about the game. He really likes. Jake is we're kindred spirits in that we're both very creative and we doing stuff, and we have very similar comedic timing and we play off each other really well. And so he was really happy to help me with anything I needed with, and vice versa. He always keeps trying to pay me for art, and I'm like, no, just take it. Seriously, dude, you've done so much for me. And he tries to slip money. Jerk. Jerk perk. It was fantastic. The video came out great. I'm bummed that we have to wait so long to be able to show it to everybody because it was produced in August of last. It's done. It's in the can. It's amazing, but we can't share it until the Kickstarter's ready to go. So that's been kind of on the back burner. And it's just been fantastic. And in terms of our friendship, I don't know what it is. It's magic. It's the magic of cake bake, I guess. You should interview him. Get his.
We did a walking interview with him at the first Ohayocon we ever met him at. We did a walking interview. Nice. It was, I think, only him and Sonny Strait, I think, are the only walking interviews I think I've ever done. Actually,
he's the voice actor type, so he's much more eloquent than I am. So
you're pretty good.
I do all right. I mumble and say a lot.
All right, so we definitely know that you personally love old school 80s cartoon, mainly that of He-Man. What draws you to those old school writing and cartoons?
Well, I would be lying if I didn't say there was an element of nostalgia. Obviously, I grew up with it. But I think what brought it, what kind of brings it more into adult, because I was into that stuff in a major way until high school when I got the anime bug.
Yeah.
And if anyone's ever done the American getting into anime thing, everything else is trash.
You think anime's great? Everything's trash.
Yeah. But you grow up, you mature, and you kind of realize. And I think the big thing for me is that culturally, I feel that within the past. Probably since the mid 90s, we kind of developed more of a postmodern, ironic, cynical nature to
looking at ourselves.
Yeah, to our we think too much, and not in the good way.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. I like bright colors for one thing. I like things that are I like heroes that are just heroes. I like unembarrassed, unabashed whimsy. I don't need to be winked and nodded to all the time. I just like to have fun. and which is why I'm kind of concerned when people tell me things like, oh, they're going to make a He-Man Master of the Universe movie, and I'm like,
You mean that great 80s one?
I mean, see, you know what? Frank Langella chewed up the scenery in that. So, like, and honestly, I'm not going to lie, I got a major man crush on Dolph Lundgren. So, like,
he's pretty buff.
He's pretty buff, and he's pretty Swedish, or Norwegian or something. He's,
Scandinavian.
One of those, yeah. But yeah, so basically, it just comes down to like, I like that feeling of innocence and that feeling of just not being embarrassed about being silly and not being embarrassed to be sincere and be just open and wacky and crazy and not try to like, put an asterisk next to it like, just kidding, folks, or I'm too cool for school, guys, it's okay, like, just having fun. That's all I'm all about.
You know what? I love the old 80s stuff because I grew up with my brothers were 80s kids. Yeah. So I inherited a lot of that stuff. Nice. So I used to watch the original My Little Pony. I used to watch the original G.I. Joe. I still have on VHS recorded from Houston. The G.I. Joe movie with the Weather Dominator.
Oh, yeah.
So I still have the original. Yeah, so I still have the original commercials.
Send that to me, please. I'm actually in the process of converting all my VHS. I have a really eclectic and huge VHS collection. I'm converting everything to digital. I'm just finding all these old commercials and and random specials. I forgot what thing, like Snow White meets the Harlem Globetrotters is probably my favorite. They came out the year I was born. Nice. So, you know what?
I kind of take it back. I might actually have to find that. I think I may have actually gotten rid of it by accident.
Well, if you find it, let me know.
Yeah. So now you're a great guy, which a lot of people may or may not know this. You've really gone through and helped out the community with mental health, and the community in general has really started to understand mental health and really put it more towards the forefront of our community, which it kind of was always put on that back burner. What's it like just kind of being one of those guys to just give a hug and give some advice to when people come up and and you yourself are very open about your struggles. So what's it like just being one of those good guys in the crowd that just says, hey, it's okay to talk about it?
It's weird to be like describing yourself as usually if you describe yourself as a good guy, you're not a really good guy. So thank you, I appreciate that, but it's just kind of like, well, I don't know how do I respond to that. I'm really bad at taking compliments.
I know.
Yeah, I guess really it boils down to like, I mean, I don't know if my mom's ever going to see this or not, but my parents are probably the kindest, most giving people I've ever known. And even when it bites them in the butt, like they were always helping friends out and people out, and they were volunteering for all sorts of things. They're both ex-military and police officers and things. They were always all about service. And my mom would always make fun of me because I was one of those kids that whenever I would see because I was bullied growing up, and so I wanted that feel. I like trying to create that feeling of community for the people that everyone else just kind of turn their nose up at or is horrible to or ignores. I feel drawn to kind of come on, let's. And my mom was like, you always bring home lost friends like puppies, Mom, can I keep them? I don't know, I guess the reason I'm so open about it is just it's cathartic for one thing, and two, I know what it's like to be alone. Yeah. And people can go through a lot of stuff. They can go through a lot of pain. They can go through a lot of suffering. Loneliness is the absolute worst. And I keep telling people, you see someone, okay, this person's kind of a jerk, but if you boil it down to loneliness, you can get to that, you can speak to that, and you can change people. Because loneliness can turn some of the nicest people into it turns them inside out. So really just helping with that, and then everything else just comes from there. So again, just letting people know they're not alone. And just being honest about that kind of stuff has been one cathartic for me. And if it helps other people too, that's great.
I appreciate it myself. Thank you. Awesome. So wrapping things up here, are there any upcoming projects you want fans to know about that you are allowed to talk about?
I think I'm trying to remember if we were still working on I don't know if we told you about the new comic series yet.
Yeah, you talked about it last time.
Yeah, we're still in development. My assistant Sammy and I, we're working on the writing for it. Mostly because we took the year off. It's obviously same deal as the card game where it's currently in development. But we're trying to juggle that and the card game at the same time. The card game is a much bigger project. Doing a comic for me is relatively easy. Yeah. It's just a matter of finding the time with everything else I do, and then I still take commissions and stuff, so I catch up with that and all sorts of other projects. projects, and I try to be open to. The only drawback of being open to people and letting people talk, it kind of, you got to be able to balance your time.
Right.
And sometimes I get really invested in people,
Yeah,
which is and so I lose a lot of time to that, which I don't want to call it time lost, but I need to kind of find a balance there, balance in everything. So getting that under control, yeah, we'll just move forward. So,
hey, you know what? It's all good. Where's Sammy? Sammy, where'd you go? Come here. Come here. We need to at least now finally see Sammy. We talk about Sammy. We never see her.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody, we've known Miss Sammy here for quite a while. She's Kevin's assistant. I want you guys to at least know who she is, that she's been helping Kevin through his journey as a fellow artist. Say hello.
Hello.
She's in the comics too. She's always constantly put up on. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I don't know what I'm doing here is, all I was going to say.
See, this is the best part. Now it's spontaneous. Now you guys can say this together.
Yeah.
So how can we find you guys on the internet? And a final message that you want to give to the fans that have kept up with you guys for doing the art in the comic.
You are the aspiring voice actress.
What?
Go
I mean, you can find us at interrobangstudios.com as well as Interrogang on Twitter, Interrobang Studios on Facebook, and we have a Tumblr as well under the same name. And as a farewell thing, thank you for supporting us.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. See, she's much better at this than me, and she's cute. So I'm just well, whatever. Yeah, so there's that, and we're working on the new series. I don't know if we can say the name yet. It's still under wraps. Yeah, no, we can't. It's secrets. And then the card game and mascots updating again. So we got that going, and we're trying to kind of let everyone know we're still alive. Again, taking a year is a long time in internet. So just kind of we're still here. We're still doing stuff. We're a little low key at the moment, but we're building back up. So it's been Glad to be back, and I do want to thank everybody because again we had that year off, and yet people were still keeping up with us. They were still supporting us. They were still sending messages of support and encouragement. And I'd like to say thank you you guys so much. We would be lost without you. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to try to keep doing what we're doing. So
again, thank you both. It's been wonderful, Kevin and Sammy. Thank you.
Always a pleasure. Absolutely.